Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. When we think of mental illness, we tend to think about what are called the thought and mood disorders. Schizophrenia, manic depression, for example. People who act oddly. But there is another category of mental illness called the personality disorders. These include the paranoid, the schizoid, the schizotypical, the schizotypal, the antisocial, the borderline, the histrionic, the narcissistic, the avoidant, and the dependent personality disorders. Oh, and the obsessive-compulsive personality disorder. Now, it's impossible to do justice to all of these in one video, but here is a quick summary of what they are, and just remember that these people are not psychotic. They are able to generally to function in society, although with great difficulty, but they don't have delusions or hallucinations. They're not psychotic. We'll start with the paranoid personality type. Now, he's suspicious of the motives of others. They expect that others are going to try to exploit them. They tend to be hostile and seclusive. They're uncomfortable with intimacy and have difficulty expressing emotions. Their affect is flat, and they appear to experience little pleasure in life, in anything they do. Very often they have little or no desire for sex. These are the people that are usually considered to be loners, but they're not seen as odd or eccentric. Then there's the schizotypal personality disorder, which is odd and eccentric. As a matter of fact, it's characterized by odd behavior and ideas. They have ideas of reference that are not delusional. They will be the ones with the magical thinking and obsession with like the occult and astrology and stuff like that that is beyond the normal. Sometimes they think they have ESP, or they think that other people do. They are anxious in social situations, and it doesn't diminish with familiarity. Their affect is often inappropriate to the situation around them. So they may laugh at something that everybody else considers to be tragic. The antisocial personality disorder is where we find the psychopath and the sociopath. These people lack empathy and tend to be callous, cynical, and contemptuous of others. They have inflated egos, tend to be cocky, opinionated. They can be very charming, but they use that charm to exploit people. They have no depth of feeling for people that often have very deep feelings towards them. They are reckless, impulsive, irresponsible, aggressive, incapable of remorse, and disregardful of rules and laws. They make up a large percentage of our prison population. The borderline personality is basically, they have a pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships which don't last long. They tend to start destroying them very quickly after they've started them. They frantically try to avoid real or imagined abandonment. They feel empty a lot of the time. Their mood swings. They are attention-seeking, and their self-image is unstable. Sometimes they're way too happy with themselves, and sometimes they're completely down on themselves. They're deceitful and manipulative. But not for financial gain, rather for emotional gratification. They're prone to suicidal gestures, and many anorexics and bulimics fall into this category. The histrionic personality need to be the center of attention. They are provocative and seductive. Their emotions are shallow and shift very rapidly, but they are expressed dramatically in an exaggerated manner. And they believe their relationships with others are deeper than they actually are. These people are the ones you can't break up with, the stalker, the one who keys your car. The narcissist tends to need to be admired by others, even as they are completely heedless of the feelings of those that they want to admire them. They're demanding and manipulative and become upset if they don't receive special treatment. Their self-esteem far outweighs their accomplishments. Does the word diva ring a bell? Avoidant personality disorder, these are people who feel inadequate, so they're unwilling to take any risks in their personal and professional lives. They expect to be rejected, and so they interpret any criticism as rejection. They're unable to take the initiative in their professional life or reach out to others in their personal life. Similar to that is the dependent personality, who just feels helpless, unable to take responsibility for his or her own life. There is an expectation that others will take care of them. If they can hold a job, they usually find a way to get others to do the work they're supposed to do. Many hypochondriacs fall into this category. And finally, there is the obsessive-compulsive personality, who is rigid, inflexible, preoccupied with details, perfectionistic, unable to delegate, tends to be prudish, hoards even worn out and broken objects, and may engage in ritualistic and repetitive behaviors. Now, as you might have noticed, there is some overlap between one disorder and the other, and that's because people are complicated and just don't easily fall into one category. Also, mental health and mental illness exist on a continuum. There's not a break. We all have certain of these characteristics within our own personalities, but they fall within normal limits. Just because somebody is a stickler for the rules or a bit of an egotist doesn't mean that they have a personality disorder. A personality disorder is very, very far at the other end of the continuum. Now, I'm considering doing a series of videos focusing individually on mental disorders. Let me know if you think it's a good idea. Thanks for listening.